flesh we have, and I can't be more grateful for this, Ben Stewart.
You know what I love about this shit? I didn't even know we were rolling there. Hey guys. Talking about psychedelics then.
Yeah, I mean, psychoactivity, and I guess we could use that word, or you could say phanerothym, right? Like Aldous Huxley wanted to call it a phanerothym, but it was the bear. Augustus
right.
Stanley Osley wanted to say psychedelic.
Psychedelics.
But it's a soul-releasing agent. You're talking about medicine, so...
Yeah, that would be more calling it an entheogen, evoking God from within, using psychedelics.
You've been to Peru then? Is that how this all...
That's how it all started for me, is, you know what it was? I was reading a Daniel Pinchbeck book called 2012 Return of Quetzalcoatl.
Wow.
And I saw the word ayahuasca, and it was the first time that I'd seen it. And I instantly knew that I was going to try that. I didn't even read his entire description of like what it was like. I just saw the word and I was like, okay. So I Googled it at the time. I saw that it's this Amazonian vine mixed with these plants out of fucking 80,000 species or something ridiculous. These two plants, one inhibits the stomach acids that would otherwise break down the DMT, so the DMT can get all the way past the blood-brain barrier. And I was like, whatever that is, I want to try it. And they were like, wait, there's more. There's shamans have been doing this for thousands of years. And I was like, fuck yeah, sign me up. And they're like, but wait, it's an intense experience. I was like, I've tried mushrooms before. I can do whatever, I can face whatever. Let me face all my shit right away. And I got exactly what I asked for. Go down to the Amazon in April of 2008 to get my ass handed to me.
Wow.
To be asking myself, not even asking myself, more poking fun at myself, like removed from myself, rocking in fetal position like a baby around my own vomit. But I removed myself from myself to look at myself, and I was saying, you fucking asked to be down here doing this shit. You asked to see all of this shit, and now it's coming true. And I couldn't appreciate it at the time, but a few months later, you know, when the initial shock of going to that kind of a realm, unprepared and coming back. Maybe I was prepared, but it took me a while to integrate the experience. And then I was asked that October to go down to Brazil, Bahia, Brazil, an island off the coast of it, to do it again with a different group outside of a completely ritual context. There was a Colombian shaman, but it was outside of a ritual context. And that was different. To be perfectly honest, I never asked to do ayahuasca except for the first time.
Right.
Now opportunities come up and I feel like, oh, she's calling again.
Right. It's like an agent kind of thing. Yeah, and you have to call. You choose to accept the mission.
Fuck yeah.
So, I mean, I lived in Peru for like a year at one point, and when I was young, about the time I first saw Esoteric Agendas, I think it's your first.
That was 2008. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was into mescaline and DMT and AMT and a few of the research chemicals which were available at that time. And some of them have the same active chemicals that are in ayahuasca. So it led me to find, I was just interested in trying ayahuasca. But ayahuasca is very different because it makes you have this physical sensation. You throw up. It's something you can't really suppress. And it's kind of like an exorcism mixed with a psychoactive experience. So it's...
Peyote also can make you, as the indigenous call, get well.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking throwing your innards to the outer. And they say in South America for ayahuasca, you do throw up. They don't call it getting well, it's purging. And it's the shit that needs to come out. And I know that like most people, when they think of it, they can't get out of the Nixon era mind frame that these are narcotics and people going off to lose reality for a while and check out. And in a way, not understanding that reality is multi-layered. And yes, you're coming to lose this reality for a bit, for sure, to find yourself deeper. Because if really consciousness is in all things, then wherever you go on a psychedelic trip is also you. So you're discovering different chambers of your own intelligence that maybe you never looked at before, and, patterns and things that you never looked at. But it's not a Sunday breakfast with your grandparents. It's hard work. But it has this brilliant ability of getting you to see your actions and your behavior from the receiving end of it. Mm-hmm. You know, have you done ayahuasca?
Yeah, a number of times. My first one was really scary because like the first time I had it, I saw myself as death. Like it was basically me wearing all black, and he grabbed me. He's like, "Don't F with me," you know. And I was like, "Okay." Like that was really scary. And I ran home in my mind and like threw myself underneath all of my stuff and like hid and then shattered into it. And I was like a baby, and it was really scary and dark. And around that time, a lot of like things happened in my life and shattered anyway, so maybe it was a good like paradigm shifting warning. But it was like I was thinking, you know, I'm so young, I'm so powerful, I'm able to handle these things that ascended masters needed to spend all their lives training for. So by the time they were able to, their bodies were so physically weakened that they couldn't do what I might be able to do now. So I was kind of naive, I think, also. But there's been really positive experiences as well. You know, I mean, the thing that's also crazy about the plant is when you go down there, 500 miles away or more is where one plant grows from the other that make it possible for them to synthesize the medicine. So the idea that this even happened is crazy because it kind of insinuates that there was like a culture that was built not on war but on trading for psychoactivity or theology or theosophy, some sort of shared lens experience of something broader than themselves. So it shows that there's a really strange and interesting culture. But when we look at drugs, like I was interested in chemical drugs before ayahuasca. Like they're all chemicals. They have a mechanism that they break down like gears. But ayahuasca seems different. It seems like there's actually like stored memory, like life or some sort of releasing consciousness that happens. And it might be because the tree is producing this in the syrups and the crystals of plasma. And it seems like there could be, you know, it's one of those evidences of consciousness in plants that last after, you know, when we die, but a lot of times plants, they continue on.